That was pretty big for a night one after a night off. Phish returned tonight at the SPAC. Very jam-filled second set. A lot of songs played here in the first set, as you can see. A jam-filled gin, though, as well. First tube opening the night. Recently got a first tube. It was down here. Not the case tonight. Opening up. You get a lot of Rockstar Trey when it's down here. It wasn't necessarily the case tonight with Paige getting involved early and often. Then Bathtub Gin, a lot of the same here, not just a big Trey fest, although, wow, the jam went on and it was really just more of this just kind of very fishy, joyous, very first setty, not really exploring a whole lot, just kind of staying right there near Gin, but just going for it and then keeping the foot on the pedal. So a strong first set Bathtub Gin. Opening up with first tube gin, boom to boom. Sometimes we get the instrumental opener and then what feels like an additional opener. That did not feel like a first set opener. Devotion to a Dream getting another spin. Sometimes they bust out a song and everybody's like, oh wow, us, them. Really, it reminds us what a great song it is. Probably it should stick around. Hopefully it sticks around. But I don't know about you. I was not really feeling that with Devotion to a Dream. Somehow it gets another run. They follow that up with The Well. So we started out great. Now we're going with back-to-back duds. It just takes too long to get to that turn in The Well. That final part of The Well I can get down with, when things get a little wild and crazy and darker. But that first part of The Well tonight, boy, really was sinking the ship fast. Okay, Birds of a Feather starts to bring it back. Strawberry Letter 23 after Birds of a Feather. We're starting to get more Trey here too now. Trey's starting to become more of the rock hero that we all know that he is. Strawberry 23, speaking of Trey, giving it 110% on the vocals here tonight on Strawberry Letter 23. Paige doing the same thing on Long Boy for us all. Old Home Place. I guess we'll say the Mike song here, really. For going Trey, Paige, Mike. Poor Fishman. He's just got to work throughout, never really gets his moment. Every now and then he gets to play on the vacuum. Never get a fought. Okay, so not even an ass-handed anymore. Whatever happened to ass-handed? Devotion to a Dream twice, no ass-handed? All right, Hey Stranger. The way it was carrying on, I thought maybe they were just going to have the balls to end the second set with Hey Stranger. Not quite, it's not ready for all of that. Walls of the Cave had to do the trick, doing what Walls of the Caves does. Cave, doesn't matter how many there are, it's going to do this most of the time. I think recently we actually got one that didn't do this. Still did this though. All right, Set Your Soul Free. It had this like I said, a very jam-filled second set. And that got started with Set Your Soul Free. Had this very cool, I don't even know if it was cool. Might have been kind of dark and possessive, really hypnotic. This kind of chanting sound going. Kind of at the tail end of the jam. It went for a while, though. It was great. And then they pull the rug right out from underneath us. Move down in here to Chalk Dust Torture. And Chalk Dust, really not a whole lot of down point. It went on and on. Multiple crescendos. It just would not end. But like some of these jams recently, there's a lot of downtime. They're working around from one spot to the next. And not really the case here in Chalk Dust tonight. Sea of Stars, though, we have to calm down at some point. This started out a very furious, 30-plus minutes to start the second set, and then only to gear back up. So they must have known what was coming. The Sea of Stars here. No moon out there tonight, so I guess it was a Sea of Stars. Piper, everything's right. Really felt like those two went together. Unfortunately, I hate to say that, old versus new, but everything right gets in the conversation with the Piper. They kind of did the same thing. Piper maybe a little more endurance, and but they both just ended up hitting these big giant peaks. So you could even see it on the webcast. Everybody in the place just seemed to be going crazy. Even that guy in the front that looked a little bit like Hulk Hogan seemed very appropriate on a night like tonight. So Piper, good to see Piper still strong after all this time. And then Loving Cup. Didn't get the biggest reception of the night like I felt I did in Columbus, at least from what I could see on the webcast. You couldn't get much more bananas than what I saw going on during Piper. No signs of spontaneous chomper combustion, but I think we were probably close. Trey trying to take some people out. All right, so then Loving Cup opens up the Encore. It's been, it hasn't been overplayed, but I mean, if we're going to play Devotion to a Dream twice, I guess we can get this twice. Trey sneaking in the line about the guitar, and then Antelope ending the set, ending the whole show with Run Like an Antelope. What is this, Columbus, Ohio? Okay, so night one at the SPAC, like a very 5 songs, very rarely anymore. I can't say never after Deer Creek last year. Very rarely are we going to get a 4-song set. But the Sea of Stars, really, everybody. They can't. Spontaneous chomper combustion's one thing, but heat stroke, they don't want that. Gotta calm down, relax. I'm sure there were still a few people jumping around like they're insane during Sea of Stars, so it's not really one of those songs. It's okay, you don't have to. Strawberry 23, a welcomed second run. Devotion to a Dream, though. It took me a while to get over that one. Miffed. Were you? Am I crazy? Were people screaming for more of that? I don't know. Were they going to play the line again? Petrichor, maybe. I doubt it, though. I mean, that hogs up a lot of a set. All right, let's stop right there. Boom. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in throughout the summer. We'll be here for the next 2 shows. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting on? Well, all right. Maybe you tuned in for the first time on a bad night. I don't know how tonight was, but go ahead and subscribe anyhow. We'll see how tomorrow goes. And after tomorrow, you don't like me, well, then you can unsubscribe. It's pretty easy. All right, I love you guys. Boom. Those of you who have been here all summer, Pete G there tonight. Big G for Bathtub Gin. They only jammed me up with really not a lot of G's tonight. I appreciate that. Thank you, Phish. I hope everybody else enjoyed that was there. So as well, some of the pickers were there. Hope your picks went better than mine. I got my token 1. It was Piper. It's a big one. All right. Did I say boom? I think I did like 4 times. No cats. Sorry. They're sleeping.